Hello and good evening, and a very, very warm welcome to everyone here who's joining us today for a session on generative AI in education. Well, Tech Talk Tuesday is specially for teachers, and it is scheduled every Tuesday between 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. IST. And I'm Meenakshi Oberoi, your host here, to take you through this session. I'm always elated, and believe you me, our week is spent looking forward to this session because we get to meet you. And today, and as always, I have Duhita Parmar with me. I will let Duhita introduce herself, say hello to you before we start deep diving into today's topic. And I know it's a good dive, but today is going to be all about understanding generative AI in education. So I'm going to pause here, allow Duhita to say hello to you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Yet again, we meet. Today's session is all about Gen AI in education. Definitely, please do share from where you are joining in with us, which school you are in, and definitely any doubts or queries that pour in or any other info that we need. Kindly do share in the chat window. Would be more than happy to look at it and address the same. Looking forward to a fun-filled session. Thank you.
Thank you, Duita. And yes, thank you so much for those who have joined us in the past sessions. And we are going to give a huge shout out to some of our teachers who have been very regular. Every week they join. So in the next session, you can expect shout outs to those who have won their certificates and to those who've been very regular in our sessions. So today we are talking about generative AI in education. Well, actually, we are entering a period of generational change in AI. Until now, machines have never been able to exhibit behavior that was not distinguishable from humans. But these new generative AI models are not only capable of carrying out sophisticated conversations with us, but they also generate seemingly original content. Hmm, interesting and scary at the same time, isn't it? Well, it is Gen AI, which is basically epitomizing, the entire conversational chatbots such as ChatGPT, as you know, and that has influenced education industry significantly. It is said that by 2032, the education sector's Gen AI market is going to, grow multifold and demonstrate an impressive annual growth. So, Gen AI, what is it? Where do we use it? Why do we use it? And where do you think we can take it from here? Is what we're going to discuss today. And we all understand what Gen AI is, but just in about a line or two, generative AI is a set of algorithms that work together, and they're capable of generating, text, images, audio, video using the trained data. So it's the most powerful generative AI algorithm that is actually used to build these platforms, and it is very, very scary and promising both at the same time because the underlying pattern for this is very wide and it's hard to identify what's real and what's not. And the way we are today, we would want to use it for multimodal images, text, videos, and more, and to create and expand our horizons into creating these objects or these creations. However, before we move further and we deep dive into all of this, let me give you a kind of a taste of um, Gen AI. So here it is. So this is today's task. Oh yeah, look at that buddy of ours. In the chat window, introduce yourself by putting in your name, your school name, and city. I see many of you have started putting. Here's your number two. List five of your favorite things between animal, food, hobby, location, and color. I know you wouldn't remember that. Therefore, I will just give you this in the chat window and you can take this prompt from there. Okay. I'm giving you this prompt in the chat window. You have learned in the last session how to create or generate an image, and I'm sure you know, right? While you do so, I'm going to wait for you to use this prompt to generate an original image so that we know you through that image. and share with us. Okay. So all you need to do is you need to share this, you need to use this prompt. Go to any of your generated, yeah, exactly. Uh, Actually, porcupine sliding. So go to copilot.microsoft.com or go to designer.microsoft.com as you like it and generate this image and share with us. I would love to see what you create. So go ahead, let's get to task and share this. So I'll wait for you. Okay. I will wait for your introductions to set in. And thank you for those introductions. Would love to see what you create. Use Copilot or use Designer as you like it. Designer.microsoft.com. Got it? There you go. So go ahead. I'm waiting for your creations to just come in. Anybody share, anybody facing any problems, you can always ask. I would love to demonstrate this here as well. So if you want me to do it with you and show you how this is done, I'm happy to do that. So, but just ask in the chat window and I will make my best effort to do so. Okay, I'm assuming that you are creating your image. Don't take porcupine as your, favorite animal. Oh, Lalita ma'am, you want me to do? All right, not a problem. So, I'm just going to share my screen and I will go to Copilot. Just give me 1 minute. I'm just opening Copilot and let's just go there to create something. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to copy this prompt. So all you need to do is you can watch right now with me, or you can create one of your own as you like it. Okay. While you are doing that, I'm going to go ahead and Rita, do let me know if you can see Copilot right now on my screen. Yes, I think you can.
Yes, please.
Okay. There you go. Um, Create an image that is a combination of an animal eating food. Let's say I'm going to take furry cat. Remember the adjectives, remember the nouns. A furry cat eating probably nachos. How's that? While doing something. Okay, while sitting on top of a cupboard. Okay. And at the location, at the kitchen counter. Let's say my naughty cat is on my kitchen counter with a dash color sky. Okay, I might change the sky. You may do so too with a beautifully lit um, space in a. So basically, if you want to change something, please do. I'm just going to put it here, right? So I'm going to create this image right here. This is nothing but generative AI. All I have done is taken a collection of words, given you a prompt, which is absolutely required for generation of anything that you want. A prompt could be really small, really simple, or could be complex. My best bet is nouns and adjectives. Always describe the noun using adjectives. If possible, put in verbs. So if you see, I had a collection. Look at that. That is my introductory image. And all I need to do is click on it, download it, and share it with you. So here I am. My image is available over here, and I can always put it in the chat window for you to see. It is this simple. Yes, you can use Copilot to generate. You could use Designer. You could use Adobe Express, whichever platform you feel comfortable and whichever platform you feel gives you the best results, go for it because all these create amazing images. Look at Nidhi ma'am. She has shared her creation as well. Wow. Duita, you've shared it too. You know what I really like about Nidhi ma'am, your creation is that you've given us your, your prompt as well. Draw a combination of green rhino eating. Imagine green rhinos. How imaginative are you? Eating mangoes while enjoying in a blue bathtub. in an open forest with a rainbow behind the blue sky. Oh my God, this is amazing. Really amazing. There you go, Dvita. You have your favorite animal, which is a peacock. And you've given at the ground with a rainbow in the sky. Excellent. So we got you going on, generative AI literally from the start. So you know what is generative AI. You've been hands-on now, and I'm sure you're able to relate to what generative AI is, right? Let me move back, or slip back a little bit and talk to you about what this generative AI holds and what's the kind of promise that it holds for us. Well, it's the new wave of Gen AI systems that have the potential to actually transform our entire industry. Now, to be an industry leader in 5 years, that's how we used to talk, and we still talk. You need to understand and have a clear and compelling way to use generative AI, and we must have a strategy for it today. And if we don't have it today, we will only wait for tomorrow to happen to us. We are entering an era which will have Gen AI models that are not only capable of having a sophisticated conversation with you, but also generate some content that is seemingly very original. Therefore, it is very important for you to understand what kind of content that is presented to you is the one that is original or not. Is it fake? Is it is there any truth to it? But for all of that, we will be taking a deep dive next time, where our topic is going to be about navigating the ethics while using these pieces. I have to pause here and appreciate Sarita ma'am and Mamta ma'am for sharing their images. There's a beautiful tiger out there in green jungle, and also I have a cute little bird with this little grain in its mouth that it's holding. It's beautiful. Really, that's the joy of creating and generating images. And yes, that's just about the tip of the iceberg. But how does this work and how will this happen? Well, it's a very simple story. It's a simple story of input, response, and iterate. So, input is the user input. So, that's what you input or you give as a prompt. So, user interacts with this Gen AI tool by simply typing or maybe even speaking, some of in everyday languages, some of the words or some of the commands. And with the natural language processing at the back end, this is accepted by the system. The input is accepted. Now, as a response, which is a conversational response here, these GenAI tools handle a wide range of tasks and queries by drawing on the data that you have input in that, right? And they deliver you a response in a very natural conversational way, which means you've asked for an image, they'll give you an image. You ask for text, they'll give you a text. You ask for a video, they will give you a video, depending on what you've asked for. So it leverages the attached, input that you have given, looks or churns out through the data repository that it has, and even the external resources depending on what you need. And the third stage is that of iterating that response. That is, after receiving an initial response, these GenAI tools, sorry, just give me a minute. Thank you. Okay, these GenAI tools can easily refine and adjust to your request and give you a very precise result and explore different aspects of that task, which means that, for example, I had not specified the type of image that I'm looking for. I could be asking for a photorealistic, I could be asking for a caricature, I could be asking for a 3D, image. Whatever you're asking, it allows me users, that is me, to iterate and adjust by asking for clarifications, expanding on the detailing that I've given, and even explore new angles. For example, I said, a very brightly lit room, or I could even say, in the darkness of the night, it crawled down there, right? So it really depends. What you're asking for. And what it does is it will maintain your original context. Even if you're changing your prompts, once you've provided a prompt, the generative AI tool processes this information in real time and delivers the immediate feedback to boost productivity and streamline your work, so that it gives you instant results. And by prompting, in these Gen AI tools, you can adjust its tone, structure, you can go for focused responses, you can ask open ended. So, we're going to explore all of this in the light of what is it that we are going to do with generative AI. Once again, a big shout out to Sarabanti ma'am, who has actually given a beautiful image of a peacock pecking on some grains in an amazing rainbow colored garden. Must check out these images as they come in the chat window. And yeah, so then moving towards the next piece, which is what can Gen AI tools do for us? Well, they can do many things. One is just not content or image generation that they do. That is one big, misconception that we always have. What will Gen AI tool do for me? It'll give me some images and it'll give me some content. No, it also does many more things. First of all, let's deep dive into content and image generation itself. So, what it does is it can actually impact your work in many ways of how to create, summarize code, search for information, and it can even it has the capabilities to address multiple challenges in education. Now it'll generate real-time responses to your inquiries. That's first thing that you have already experienced. It'll help you create visual aids for complex topics. For example, we were just actually, Duita, myself and Mahima, we're working on this project where we need to deep dive into creating, visual representations of large amounts of text that are written for grade 11th and 12th. And we use Gen AI to see what are the possibilities. But the good part is, we're not just stopping there. We're taking an inspiration from that. We're not copying that. We take an inspiration. Oh, I think this is how it could be represented. And then we are generating our own content based on what we saw or getting inspired from what we saw. So it's a very complex task, but it has become much simpler for us. Sorry, because we have samples, examples that are available for us. So that, and while you're doing these interactive, talk with the students, what you really need is simulations. What you could actually help with is if I could show my students, if I were to say that we throw a ball in the air and this is the distance that it covers. Now that's something that they're trying to imagine in their heads, but you can't show them. So there are amazing tools that are available. This is still something that you can do in the class, but especially with biology, concepts like, let's say I'm studying the internal parts of an ear or an eye. Now you can't see it. Therefore, you need certain simulations to help in your classrooms. All of that can be generated or created using Gen AI. Then summarization. Summarization is just not, just summarize this whole chapter or this whole topic or this subject. It could be about anything. So you're reading lengthy articles and you don't even know whether it's worth reading while you are searching on the web. You can actually summarize those to say, tell me the key points that are written in this article. Many a times, for example, I am looking up, I go on a search engine and I say, generative AI in education. Now, there are some hundreds of websites that will pop up. Now, of those hundreds of websites, how do I actually narrow down into which one should I actually look into? So my best bet is, and I'll show you this in a minute, I use Edge while I'm searching, and I have Copilot embedded over there, or use Copilot extension anywhere, and simply just say, summarize this to tell me what are the key points. Wow. I mean, I just know which website to go to. I try three or four, and I say, I think this one is something that I resonate with, so I can easily go ahead and use that. Yeah. Also, the last one is what hits me the best. Adjust the tone, reading level, language, and complexity of the content. Adjust the tone. There is a tone in which you convey your messages, your information, your thoughts to the outside world. Now, depending on what your audience is. For example, when I'm putting up a post on LinkedIn, we'll have a different language than what I put up on Facebook, to what I send to parents, to what I send to my colleagues, to what I send to my students. Now, if I were to draft all of this myself, God forbid it, I would be spending my whole time doing just that. And I would use generative AI to do that. Assume the role of this thing. Let's say, a teacher teaching class 4. I need to send out a message for everyone to say, do not click on every click me or, clickable link without thinking. Give it a thought before you do so. Now create this for LinkedIn, for Facebook, for students, for teachers, for parents. There you go. You have different tones available for you, which you would take a lot of time. Now, once that is generated for you, You could actually look at it, read it, modify, customize, personalize as you like it, and then use. Isn't that such an amazing thing? Well, another one would be, code generation. That's something I think these generative AI tools have actually transformed the natural language into code or SQLs, making programming more accessible. Like you and I can't code, right? For example, I'll give you a very simple example. I know computer science teachers, with all due respect to you, you can. But for all of us, like Toita, myself, who are not computer science teachers, it's very difficult. And in Excel, if you use certain, formulas and codes, your work just becomes so much easier. What do I do? Well, all I do is I go to these generative AI tools and I ask them to how to troubleshoot or help me repair, my document or help me code or simple just tailor an example and support my learning of a very simple example that I'll tell you. In Excel, I wanted I really wanted to make the first name and last name in different columns. I know you might know, but I didn't know. Okay. So, yeah, I'm just sharing with you, and Duhita knows we did this. First name and last name, they were together in one column, and we needed them in separate columns so that when we send out our emails, we can only use the last name or the, Mr. or Miss, whatever, the last name and not the first name. For a very simple task like this, I did not know how to use Excel. All I did was I went to Copilot and I said, here's my problem. This is my attach sheet. Help me, with the formula, code, or whichever way to separate the two. And it instantly told me what to do. Obviously, it'll not do for me, but at least it told me what to do. And I tried and hit and trial. And believe you me, Duita, vouch me here for saying we've become so much better at Excel than we were, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, there are many times where we have taken help on using a code, and we are very proud to say that we were not doing coding, but we can kind of code now. Yeah. Well, no colors up out there because we are at a very nascent stage. However, the last one what I'm going to talk about is the advanced search. When we are looking at a search engine, like I said, I get thousands of responses and websites over there, and I'm not sure where to go. So these Gen AI tools enable the customized resource discovery through a method, search method that actually pulls out the data from various sources. So what it helps me with is knowledge mining. It helps me providing enriched, structured, and unstructured insights into what's there in the website, and also enhance my learning and research. So have you ever tried envisioning using these copilots in the ways that I have just shared with you to solve your problem, to create effectiveness, or to encourage creativity? If yes, share with us in the chat window. We would love to hear how you are using these tools. And in the meanwhile, I'm going to give a huge shout out, actually, not shoot out. Shout out to Shilpa ma'am, Bhavani ma'am, and Sravani ma'am, because you created amazing images. Shilpa ma'am has created an image of a mother with a child. Bhavani ma'am has a parrot in a beautiful place, and I have this cute little elephant, baby elephant, sitting down with a banana in the hand. Oh my God, they're so captivating. Well, I know you all are enjoying Gen AI tools, that to image creation. I know that's one of the favorite things that our students and teachers do, but it's important for us to understand where does all this come from and also understand, generative AI in education is a very fascinating field and it is dedicated to producing fresh and dynamic content. But what is it that it has to offer? So it can be used in three major ways. Number one, you can create your customized educational materials. What do I mean by that? I'll just explain. You can simplify complex concepts. I've given you an example there. And enhance student engagement. Now, how are we going to do all of this? Is what I am going to talk to you about today. And I'm going to start with some of the applications that are most commonly used by teachers. Personalized learning paths, are something that can be created, and I will share examples on this. Automated content creation, just the way you've started doing. Language translation and communication, very important, especially where NEP also insists on, NEP 2020 insists on, offering multiple languages, offering mother tongue, offering more than two languages in the classroom. This actually comes in very handy. Then virtual laboratories and simulations. I have multiple examples here waiting to share with you, and I'll share that. Enhance accessibility and inclusivity. Very important. This is one major problem that is addressed using Gen AI. And we also have adaptive tutoring systems like reading progress, reading coach, math progress. So many of them. I'm only beginning to name a few. Intelligent grading systems. Automated grading can happen. What are the instances where we should be using them? I'm going to deep dive in a minute. And predictive analytics for student performance is something that is so insightful that you already know that this child is this is the growth pattern of this child, and these are the gaps which have been identified by my system for me to help fill for this very student. So all the time, every teacher I know, all the time we have been talking about, I wish I could address problem of every child in my classroom. Here's your way to actually address these challenges that we face. Take help from generative AI or artificial intelligence tools to actually address these challenges in the classroom. And of course, natural language processing for education has a special place. So, talking about the role, we are extending the influence by simplifying or simply going into personalized learning, where Gen AI can act as a very powerful engine for bringing in, like I said, it will equip the educators with content that ignites students' curiosity and fosters innovation. And, it encourages us to push the boundaries and innovate ourselves as well. Now, look at all of you. Just now, I also got another image from Nagalakshmi ma'am. Big shout out to you. You've created this beautiful, a vision of a pigeon flying in a blue sky, which actually depicts peace. And there are beautiful ways to actually bring these innovative innovative thinking to light. What we do over here is we start thinking about what we are creating rather than just searching on the web. You could have searched for any of these images on the web and you'll get some thousands of images. For example, a baby elephant with a banana. Try searching. Obviously, you'll get it, but you'll not get what you want. Generative AI is going to help you get exactly that. Yeah. So, what you're developing here is critical thinking skills, problem solving. With creative content in context, you're thinking deeper about the context rather than a surface knowledge. And moreover, AI's ability to handle these routine tasks can actually free you to focus more on what is more important, that is, enriching these learning content and also helping students in their emotional growth. So, as a catalyst for creativity, it's huge, and enhancing collaboration. Look at us collaborating. We use the same prompt, but look at the kind of results that we were able to create. Yeah, they were similar but not same. We have multiple platforms that offer generative AI tools in the education segment. These have been democratized and which were previously inaccessible due to lack of training or data, are now accessible for you. And the wider adoption of AI is a good thing because it actually improves the scope of what we can do, but it can be problematic when organizations don't have an appropriate governance structures in place. Therefore, next session, we are dedicating to governance, dedicating to ethics, policies, procedures around usage of AI. Yeah. And of course, these top companies are helping you uh, grow in your capacity. They're offering you tools, they're offering you multiple platforms for you to use. So look at that growth. I mean, isn't that amazing to see how we are growing in our capacity? Well, it's time to deviate towards what is it that I can do now? Tell me, and what are the tools that I should be using? Adaptive learning. Very simple. Adaptive learning, is a method, which uses technology to create personalized student learning experiences. And here we use data and AI to to assess each student's performance or strengths or weaknesses and learn their preferences basically and adapt our learning material to that. I'm loving that, people are still creating and throwing in images. Love, absolutely love it. Bhavani ma'am, Shilpa ma'am, big shout out to both of you for amazing, content that you have created and you're sharing with us. Now, towards adaptive learning, we are accommodating different learning styles. We are, accommodating different learning preferences, and we are trying to bring in three major pieces here. One, customized recommendations and interventions. That is, when GenAI offers you insights. Like, in Microsoft Teams, you have insights available. These GenAI tools will deliver you customized recommendations as well, content and interventions. So these are designed seamlessly to individuals' needs and goals of each learner. For example, in reading progress, at the other end, you don't just get a generalized word list of what your class needs to revisit, but also individual lists. So I'm going to talk about all of this with examples. Allow me to put forward in front of you what we have over here. Number two, it empowers teachers with data driven insights. Like I said, that, monitoring progress rather than knowing it at the end of the term. On the go, we learn about students' progress. We can identify gaps. We can adjust our instructions with this real time data and have targeted, effective support that we can provide to students. Yeah. Thirdly, enhanced learning outcomes and motivation. You when you're so on time with your feedback and you have a very personalized approach towards students, what you see is improved learning outcomes. What you see is heightened engagement. What you see is enhanced motivation, and your students and teachers have a better rapport to work together. To give you an example, here's one. Now, if you see over here, this is the result of a child named Adele Vance. These are some of the challenging words that Adele has, and this is the entire report. Imagine this is a student in your class, and you have such a rich report about the reading ability of this child. So, this is insights for reading progress, gives you about every piece. It'll give you separately, right? Even the phonics. Now, what it gives you is a deep insight or a deep dive into this child's ability. Here's another one. Now, let's say, we've given this piece as a reading piece, and the child is, not able to say this word properly. It's it provides you support to take help from a reading coach and actually uh, probably decide which tool do you want to use to actually practice. What kind of voice do you want? Do you want more supportive voice? Do you want less supportive voice? So depending on how you're feeling, sometimes when these systems talk back to you, they are a little flat toned. So you can actually decide what kind of voice would you want to hear. Isn't that so very personalized? Well, the next piece for us is content generation, and I don't think I need to explain this. However, I want to say this that this will help you deeply into creating much success, engagement, and retention. These are my three submissions here. Not only will it make your class engaging or personalized, your content creation, and overall learning journey is what is enriched. It can create your summaries, quizzes, feedback, reports that will give you a holistic understanding of the content that you're teaching and supporting effective course design. For example, you want to see, okay, now that I know that this child is at this ability level, how should I take it forward? Here's an example. Let's say this child has created this story on their own. So imagine how personalized that is. If this is this personalized and the story is about the piece or about the character and about a setting which I have created, I will definitely be interested in reading, what it is. And if it is this rewarding that after every few intervals, I get a feedback about myself. I think that's something that I'm looking for. And the feedback, if you read properly, has a tone that is very positive and encouraging. Now that helps me move further in my journey. And look at that, and the brief that I get at the end as well. You've unlocked Otter. So imagine you've unlocked. It's so positive. It's so progressive. It just prompts me to do more. Yeah. And of course, it's available in multiple dialects. You can go over here, change the dialects. Like for this meeting as well, it had, English UK set in. I have set it in English India because I'm sitting in my country and speaking. So it's that personalized. Yeah. Apart from these tools, of course, Copilot, is one of your best buddies to help you too. It can not just, search results from across the web. It can summarize responses to specific questions and needs. It can provide you links to the content. That is something absolutely amazing. Let's say I like some of the activities. For example, let's say it says do a kind of a gamification piece here using Minecraft. Now, I don't know how to do gamification doing using Minecraft, but there will be a link where it would have picked up this data from. So where has it picked up this idea from? It can lead me to that website. And when I go to that website, I know exactly what to do. Yeah. And of course, on top, I would say, please be creative. Yeah. Ask follow-up questions. That's my best bet. You have to ask follow-up questions. Don't just accept what you're getting right there. And I know in most of the sessions, people ask me, okay, but then what do we ask? Well, you can ask anything. Here's a threaded conversation that I had. I said, summarize this text. Next, I said, um, explain it to me like, let's say I was a 5 year old, or I was in a first year of college, or I was in kindergarten, or I was a professor in a university. So depending on the level that you're looking for, bring it down. For example, I'll tell you what. I remember I don't understand all the terms that are related to AI right now. So very often I do this, that I ask, ask this platform to help me understand certain terms that are related to AI. For example, LLMs. I did not understand the large language models. Raise your hand if you don't understand that, and I'll understand that you don't understand. Yeah. Now, if I don't understand and I ask Copilot or any of the generative AI tools, it's going to give me this lengthy explanation, which is like beyond me, right? No, but what I do is I simply say, okay, explain it to me as if you were explaining this to a first grader. Okay, then it's going to bring down the level, probably throw in a story or something. I have sample to show you, and I'll show you that it actually brings down to your level and then take you there. So that's what I'm talking about. Have a threaded conversation, simplify it for yourself. Research project ideas. Let's say, I said, summarize a text which had UN SDG 4 on it. And then I said, explain it to me like a first grader. Then I said, research project ideas on it. Now I tell them, be my project planner. Yeah. What you Do you see what I'm doing over here? I'm not just having a threaded conversation. I'm actually acting as if there were some 10 teachers sitting together, brainstorming how to develop a plan or a project. So I'm actually using double brains, or I'm using a co-pilot, or I'm using somebody over here to actually think alongside me. I'm not asking this tool to think for me, but alongside me. There's a huge difference. Yeah. Then I say, okay, make a study plan for me. Okay, now do goal generation for me. Each day, what should I do? Evaluate the work as a teacher, refine my work, bring my ideas to life, and now help me build my skills. You see, that's a very, very systematic approach towards building a beautiful project plan for you to share with your students. Next piece is something that I know that you're going to love because it's called automated grading. And who doesn't need automated grading, right? Well, what can GenAI do for you? Number one, intelligent analysis and feedback. It can actually harness the AI capabilities and meticulously analyze students' responses against predefined criteria and rubrics. And if you want to try this, you go to reading progress, generate your passage, send it out to students along with a rubric that you have generated within reading progress. And all you have to do is mark it. And that's it. It provides you insightful, constructive feedback, which can actually aid thorough understanding of that assessment piece for yourself and for your students. Number two, efficiency gains for teachers. Uh, while I'm doing that, While I'm doing that, GenAI contributes to substantial time resource saving for teachers by automating those grades. Now, when I mark those rubrics, it'll automatically grade for me, and I don't have to sit down to mark everything. For example, in Take a Test, what you do is you respond. I've pre-curated that test. Now, once I've pre-curated that test, when you do it, it'll automatically mark. And it'll give me as to how many chances did you take. So this efficiency enables me to redirect your focus towards critical aspect of learning through these sessions by actually arriving at the right answer rather than just a one time yes or no. Many of you take multiple chances to actually clear that test and come across on the other side to achieve the 80% that is our minimum requirement, right? Now, that is what is beautiful. What does it do? It helps me enhance quality, brings in consistency, it reduces biases, it reduces the errors that we could have made, and it's a very fair and standardized evaluation process that we have created. So can you, and you must do. This also supports personalized learning. How? It influences me to actually use adaptive learning models here, which are tailored to the needs of the students over here. So my instructions and my interventions will have specific goals for my students. So this whole learning experience becomes very, very student centric. Show you an example here. Here are some actionable insights. What educators review is the rich insights with progress of each of the students over time, benchmark with the class. That is, if this is this child's class performance, you can actually compare between the two lines that Ashley in the class, according to or vis-a-vis the class, how has Ashley been performing? Is it better? Is it higher? Is it lower? And the most frequently asked questions and difficulty ratings and mistakes and misconceptions can be identified. And these trends can actually help you improve learning a lot. Here's another one, reading streaks and progress over time. Now imagine earning, probably reading a 3 day or 5 day or 7 day streaks. I hope you know what are streaks because streaks are very, very popular with our students. Imagine we bring these streaks to education platforms and readers can actually see their progress over a week or 30 days or all the time that you decide and through an easy to read and usable dashboard. Now that's something that encourages reading amongst my students. Building foundational numeracy and literacy skills are very important, and simple, effective ways like these can really help them. Yeah. Additionally, AI will suggest feedback to educators. Now, based on this rubric that I was talking about, now this is that. I'm just marking the rubric over here. Yeah. So what it does is this will suggest using AI, it'll generate updated summarized feedback for you, which will align to your students' performance and expectations. And teacher still remains in the full control with the ability to review or edit these suggestions before you actually provide this feedback to student. What this does is this ensures that the feedback remains very personal, accurate, reflective, and teacher's expertise is used. However, it is saving you a valuable time by generating that feedback for you. Awesome, isn't it? Well, give me a big response out there if you really liked it. Here's another example of reading progress where this child is trying to read this piece. Now, let's say the child gets stuck. What do? There are there's immersive reader that is built within. So this personalized piece is actually helping my child not just read, but learn to read as well on the go. Awesome, no? Well, if this wasn't awesome enough, I'll take you to another personalized platform, Khanmigo. Not sure if you've seen it. You must see it. It's free of cost for teachers. Students can use Khanmigo while working through any Khanmigo Academy course. However, it is a paid content for students. Now, what you're looking at over here is a teacher can actually use this in many ways. If you look at this, on the left hand side menu, you will see right now in the next screen, you will see that there is a option for you to create a lesson hook, an adventure story. Now look at this. This is your menu on the left hand side. It is an amazing piece. And here are two examples, which I really love on Khanmigo. Here it says tutor me math and science. I'm here to help you with math and science questions. I won't do your work for you, but I will help you learn how to solve them on your own. Imagine an AI bot telling you that already upfront that I'm not here to do your homework. Can you tell me the problem or exercise you would like me to solve? You can type it in over here in the box. Click on the button below. And if a question is about Khan Academy exercise, please open the Khan video. So it is actually guiding me about everything, right? And the next one is my practice test. Now, over here, you can pick up any of your levels over here and start practicing with it. And to get started, all you have to do is simply just choose the level. So, what it's providing you is it is actually offering you how to use this tool. Anamika ma'am, voice heard? Yes. We will, in the upcoming sessions, try and keep Kanmigo as one of the pieces. Our April agenda is going to be announced today. However, we are happy to tweak it for you. Yeah. Okay. Here's something that I did with Copilot. I want to show you these examples. You know, students normally have a lot of challenges while remembering complex, concepts. Here's a beautiful thing that you can do for your students. Now, this a student might have done, but then you can do it for your students and share with them. A mnemonic, device is something that really gives you cues and patterns to recall information, right? So here's a mnemonic device that we use. You could ask, create an acronym for the layers of a human cell to help me remember what the different layers are. So imagine this is a prompt that was given, and automatically Copilot drafted men. Oh, that is simple, right? M stands for membrane, E for endoplasmic reticulum, and N for nucleus. Now, that is simply simple for me to understand. But guess what? We have different types of learners in our class, isn't it? Not all of them are the ones who would be using an acronym. No problem. You could even ask it to simply rhyme the layers of human cell. Look at the response that it has generated. Inside the cell, where life unfolds, three layers weave their tales untold. The membrane guards a lipid shield, endoplasmic reticulum, proteins yield. And in the nucleus, DNA is revealed. I would love to use these in my class and excite my students about learning all of this and take it to my students to say, hey, you know what? Seems like layers of cells are getting to you, or you're finding it slightly difficult. But here's a way and a simple way to actually learn and simplify your concept. Here's another one. Explain dependency injection like to me, like I'm a 5-year old. Now you see, I told you, I shall show you an example here. So imagine this dependency injection, which most of us will say, huh? What? Luckily, Copilot can actually do is it can grasp your topic and it can give you a kind of a response to say, imagine you have a toy box with different toys. When you want to play, you ask your mom or dad to give you a specific toy. Instead of searching for the toy yourself, they bring it to you. That's like dependency injection. In computer programs, it means giving the right tools or toys to different parts of the program so that they can work together without searching all over the place. Hey, that was simple, right? Now, each one of us can actually go out of this session and explain to others what is dependency injection. You see, luckily, we have these tools that can actually help us perfect some of the concepts that might be new or alienated to us. But of course, I am going to say it might not be perfect. So you should always fact check as much as you can whether this is right or not. Yeah? Okay. Here's another one, summarizing from the websites. Remember, I told you I use Edge and I use open my websites over here. And this icon over here is Copilot. And minute I click on it, it'll give me options. What do I do? Generate a document summary, suggest questions about this document, or generate key insights. Imagine it can do so much for me. Not sure if you've explored this. You must. Here's another one. You could actually go on YouTube, go for a video, and also request for video highlights, questions based on this video, or whatever you want. Okay. Um, just a minute. Let me just see if I have. Yeah, I have one more. Okay. Here's the MCQ. Testing the knowledge on just a second here. Yeah, I know. Quizzes are excellent way, to see what we've understood. But MCQs are not easy to design. And yes, they need a lot of thought. What we greatly encourage is use these tools, but please do check for validity, do check for success. Here's math progress once again. This can actually help you by helping you generate intelligent questions for a robust set of relevant math problems. There are multiple math concepts that are available over here, and and you can even ask it to include answers as distractors, and and based on common mistakes, you could actually say common misconceptions. And it can also offer you to show the work. It can offer you to student ratings. You can even shuffle the questions. So using all of those capabilities is something that is absolutely amazing. If you want to learn more about learning accelerators, I'm just going to make an announcement about our upcoming sessions, where on 15th of April, yes, mark your calendars, please, 15th of April, we are talking about learning accelerators. We are also trying to get hold of some surprise um, guests or experts from the field for you so that you can meet them and connect with them. So mark your calendars for 15th of April. Spread the love for learning accelerators. And if you don't know what are learning accelerators, I'll request Duita to please drop a link about Microsoft Learning Accelerators in the chat window. All of these, what you're looking at, math progress, reading progress, coach, um, coach or speaker progress, all of these are learning accelerators. Yeah. And we'll talk about it on 15th of April. Okay. Moving ahead with this, giving you a last glimpse into the capability of math progress. What is absolutely amazing is that, I can very accurately and efficiently perform these mathematical procedures, whether they are on arithmetic calculations or solving equations or applying algorithms. What we can demonstrate over here is any gaps in understanding that you have. Students can actually have targeted solution steps, which we might take time. You can track their learning, evaluate their performance, and even set very realistic goals with it so that you're able to enable differentiated instruction in your classroom, positively affect your learner success and motivation, and also boost their confidence in mathematics. I think in math abilities need a lot of boosting, more than other subjects, if I can take the risk of saying. And therefore, I think we can just use tools like this that are available to us at no cost and can simply just take it into your school and start implementing. And if you need anything on that, please connect with us at education@epedagogics.com. We'll be happy to share more about it. Last and the best piece, I always save the best for the last, is the virtual simulations. I don't need to explain this to you, but here they are. Immersive virtual simulations, that is, GenAI takes education actually to new heights, crafting realistic and immersive pieces that you'll absolutely love. And I'm going to show you a few so that you see what they can do. I brought in adaptive learning environments once again over here because it just adapts to individual needs or goals, because just the way I showed you reading progress, you can actually choose your character, you can choose your setting, you can choose your language, you can choose your grade level, you can even choose your reading level before you actually, create a piece for yourself to read. And similarly for math progress as well, for your own practice, we can never create enough worksheets for practice. And that too, every child of mine gets stuck at a different place. No two children will get stuck at the same place in mathematics problem solving. So if you want to, give them personalized or cater to their actual needs, these are some of the tools that can help you in a big way. Well, guidance and feedback mechanism is something that I've already spoken about. And of course, performance evaluation. Enriched learning through gamification is my favorite piece, with Minecraft being on top, but there are others as well. Let's deep dive and look at these approaches that can actually foster engagement, bring in competition, and collaborative learning amongst our learners. Here's a beautiful piece. It's by Corinth. Corinth, by far, has been my most favorite place to bring in immersive learning. I know, and you will say, I think it's a paid tool. And yes, I know it is a paid one. However, there are certain pieces that are available free of cost. And if you're getting your worth, I don't think any school shies away from providing. Even if it not today, probably you could keep it in the pipeline. So I'm going to show you something on Corinth. This is Corinth 3D. And what we're looking at are the salivary glands. Isn't that some image of salivary glands? Well, on the left-hand side, you can either see the entire model, you can also navigate through certain parts. For example, you want to see the parotid glands. Now, I can't show this in real life to my students, but I could actually navigate through this piece and show this entire piece to my students. Yeah. Not just that. Now, this is the tongue. you can actually move this. I'm just using my cursor to move this wherever you want. You see, I'm making this tongue dance right now. Yeah. Now, similarly, you could go to the teeth, and now you're getting skull view because I just left it there. Oh, goodness, that's scary. But look at that. You can even make it bigger or smaller as you like it. Okay. I'm just using my laptop keyboard to do so. Goodness, that's scary. I'm going to make it, definitely going to make it smaller. And you can also have introduction. So if you hit the below panel over here, you have the introduction about the entire piece. You can even enable augmented reality. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that right now. Also, you have language options over here. Please scroll through these to see. Look at that, Marathi. Wow, amazing. So there are multiple languages that are available over here that you could choose from. And there are, you could even reduce this menu as you like it. Yeah. So you could, I'm running this right now in a loop, but depending on what you're looking for, you could actually look at that movement. I mean, can we ever look at this movement or show this movement to our students just like that? And no, I'm not selling this to you. I'm just showing you. I'm just amazed every time I come back over here and I see these beautiful pieces and how I can actually break them to show my students. Now, I can, one, make it bigger. Two, you can even move it any which way. I mean, this is like literally 360-degree view. Have you ever seen teeth that up close? Not really, right? So here's something beautiful. I hope you liked it. I'm going to move back to my deck and show you a few more platforms. But if you're interested, do explore. I love this piece. There are certain pieces that are available at no cost. You can always take a look at that as well. Yeah. So this piece, again, I had presented this piece at one of the forums. This is a volcano, an active volcano, and you can see how it is erupting. You can see within the layers where it goes. Another one on simulation is nearpod. Now look at this physics, simulation. Now a ball is thrown. Remember, I was talking about this in the beginning of the session. This is the simulation that I'm talking about. How much did it travel? What was the initial speed? You can actually drag all of this to see the coefficient, diameter, mass, altitude, whatever you want. Amazing platforms, something to relate for you and I. Pictochart is my to-go piece. Pictochart is beautiful for transforming your ideas into visuals, and it literally takes about a few seconds. Here's what it can do. It can make lists for you, timelines for you. It can do comparisons. You can even do your newsletters and charts. So here are some things that are absolutely amazing and available for you. So if someone were to ask you, what is it that I can do to use Gen AI in teaching learning? Here are just a partial list of things that you can do. But you could have a possibility engine. You could be using that as a Socratic opponent. You could be using as a collaborative coach, which I absolutely do almost every day. And I consider it as a guide on my side. I love using it as my personal tutor. You saw that. I became a 5-year-old to understand a concept. Love to use it as a co-designer. I think I made you also do that today, and I hope you did enjoy your exploration. You can even create an exploratorium, which means that AI tools can provide you to play and explore and interpret data. You can have it as your study buddy, just the way I created that whole project idea. You can even have it as a motivator or dynamic assessor. Depending on what you're looking for, you could actually go ahead and use this tool. Now we are approaching towards the end of this session, and it's the time for you to take the test. And thank you, Dvita, for sharing the test link. Have you shared? I think you have, right?
No, I have
Okay,
not
not
shared the
yet.
test.
All right. So let's share the test link. You've learned, and come to know about so many things. I'm going to share the test link for today's session. Take a test over here, and you can earn your certificate. Please do note, once the process is that you take this test and score 80% to be able to become eligible to take, sorry, to become eligible to be able to take this test. Okay. Now, once you have this in with you, then what you have to do is you have to take, you can take as many attempts as you want. Yes, I know 80% is very high a score. And all of us will say, no, 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 I don't think I can score. Well, you can. You can take multiple attempts there. There is no cap on that. So this is your form link today. You can either scan this QR code or use the link that I've given in the chat window. And you could actually pay once you have cleared and scored 80%, you have to pay a nominal cost of 200 rupees. It's the link, the link is given over there where you have to pay. We can always share in the chat window as well as to where you're supposed to pay. And then we will give you a certificate. And a huge, huge, huge shout out to Sheetal ma'am, Nidhi ma'am, Anju ma'am, who've actually earned certificates for almost, I think, all the sessions till now. And we look forward to your leadership. And I'm sure there are more. Duita ma'am is compiling the list. I had these three names on top of my head, and therefore I shared. Thank you, Duita ma'am, for sharing this, payment link as well as to where you're supposed to. You can either Paytm or, pay wherever you use this link to pay as you like it. And you must take the test. That is very important. These are micro credentials that you must keep earning. And this also contributes towards your 50 hours of learning as set by CBSC. So apart from that, of course, keep join our community on WhatsApp. If you're not a part of it, please join this community to stay connected, to know that what's happening. How can we be a part of these conversations? How do we come to know about these? They're all posted here, and the recording of this session is always posted on YouTube and or on our Insta, so you can actually follow us there as well. And here's the agenda for April. We have 5 sessions in April, of course, at no cost. And we start our first session with 1st of April. Then on 8th of April, we'll have our next. The topics are in front of you. 15th of April, we have Skilling Up session, which is going to be about Microsoft Learning Accelerators. 22nd of April and then 29th of April. So those are 5. Please, please, please spread this as widely as you can, because it's important that everybody knows about what's happening here. There's no cost involved, therefore it's easy for you to actually share with somebody and someone to come and join us in these sessions. So please spread the love, and please spread the word about these sessions. We would greatly appreciate if you can tell as many people as you can about the Tech Talk Tuesdays for teachers, and bring them here. Let's learn together and create many things together over here. I hope today's session was enriching for you, and it did help you. I've shared the image for the April agenda. I will see you on 1st of April now. With navigating ethics in education, we'll talk about everything from deep fakes to academic integrity. Therefore, come back and please don't forget to share a feedback with us. We would absolutely love to hear from you about your experience of having joined us today during this session. And thank you so much for joining us here. Do follow us and do stay connected. If you have any question, do share in the chat window. We'll be happy to answer, or simply just write to us at deep education at deeppedagogics.com and bookmark that, because your invites go into that email. They shouldn't go into junk. Therefore, please bookmark or add to contacts education at deeppedagogics.com. Thank you so much. Thank you, Duhita, for all your help and partnership here. I will see you on 1st of April, and I hope you take the test till then, earn your certificate, and continue on your micro credential journey. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a very great evening and a beautiful week ahead. Bye bye.